So you're trying to pick between Snowflake and BigQuery, right? It feels super complicated with all the features and benchmarks, but honestly, it really all comes down to the cost. And figuring that out is way simpler than you'd think. Let's get into it.
Oh, you know this feeling. It's the end of the day, almost the weekend, and then, bam, some massive, unexpected job hits the system. The dashboards start flickering, and you can almost hear the cash register ringing in the wrong direction. This isn't just a tech problem, it's a budget problem, and it happens in a flash. And that's really the heart of it. This isn't about picking a team, a blue logo versus an orange one. You are choosing a billing model. You're choosing how the meter runs. Once you get that, everything else just clicks into place. So what are these two different meters? Well, on one side, you've got Snowflake, running on what we'll call a consumption model. Think of it as paying for time on. On the other side, there's BigQuery with its capacity model, paying for throughput reserved. And that one thing, time versus capacity, that's going to be the decider for your bill. It's everything. All right, let's dive into Snowflake first. With their time-on model, you're paying for compute credits per second, but, and this is the important part, only when a warehouse is actually running. The catch? There's a 60-second minimum. So every single time you fire up a warehouse, you're paying for at least a full minute. This makes it amazing for those really spiky workloads, because when it's off, it costs you zip. Now, let's flip over to BigQuery. Their model is all about reserving a chunk of capacity. You pay for a set number of slots. Just think of slots as your own little virtual CPUs, and you pay for them by the hour. And here's the key. You're paying for them whether they're crunching numbers or just sitting there. It's kind of like renting a dedicated lane on the highway. It's always there for you, which is fantastic for those steady, predictable workloads. Okay, so we get it. Pay for time or pay for capacity. Simple enough, right? But how do you actually choose? How do you do that without getting totally bogged down in a million different benchmarks and feature shootouts?
Believe it or not, you can get a really good answer in like 60 seconds. It's just 3 steps. First, just pull up your usage from the last week. What's the shape? Is it all over the place, or is it pretty steady? Second, what do you need it to do? Are your SLOs super demanding? And third, you can do a quick back-of-the-napkin calculation to see where one model starts getting cheaper than the other. So, for that first step, figuring out your workload shape, the easiest way to think about it is with personas. Come on, let's find your company's persona. It'll point you right to the platform you need.
All right, first persona up. We're calling this one the 9-to-5 BI dashboard. This is for companies where usage is stable and predictable. High concurrency during business hours, everybody's hitting their dashboards, then it gets quiet. For this kind of setup, BigQuery's reserved slots are a total no-brainer. You get consistent performance for a bill that doesn't give you a heart attack at the end of the month. It's predictable.
Okay, next up, persona number 2, the spiky startup. And this is the complete opposite of what we just saw. It's ad hoc, it's wild, it's unpredictable. Huge bursts of activity, then long stretches where nothing is happening. And this is where Snowflake just shines. Being able to shut that warehouse down and pay absolutely nothing for all that idle time, that's the game changer.
And our final persona, the nightly ETL beast. You know what I'm talking about. Those huge monster data jobs that kick off overnight for just a couple of hours. Now this one's a toss-up. It's a draw. Why? Well, think about it. You can either spin up a monster warehouse in Snowflake for a short burst, or you can let BigQuery's auto-scaling handle it. Both can be really cost-effective, so you've got to run the numbers for your specific job.
Okay, so let's say you've found your persona, you've picked your main meter, awesome. But don't relax just yet. Both of these platforms have other kind of hidden meters that can sneak up on you and lead to some pretty nasty surprises if you're not paying attention.
And when it comes to Snowflake, there is one number you have to burn into your brain, 10%. See, Snowflake gives you all this cool background stuff, the service layer for metadata, authentication, all that, for free. But there's a catch. It's only free up to 10% of your daily compute credits. If you go over that line, the meter starts running on those services too.
So here's what you need to keep an eye on. On the Snowflake side, you've got to watch that cloud services overage like a hawk. And remember, serverless stuff like tasks or search optimizations, they have their own meters running. And for BigQuery, the big surprise can be data ingest. Some of those data transfer jobs now eat up the same slots your queries need, so your big nightly load could actually be slowing down your morning dashboards.
So now we know all the ways the meter can run, the big ones and the hidden ones. This brings us to the final and maybe the most important step, setting your guardrails. This is how you stop that end-of-the-month bill shock before it ever gets a chance to happen.
And I love how this slide frames the whole philosophy. It's two totally different ways of thinking. With Snowflake, since you're paying for every second, your strategy is to kill fast. Stop any query or warehouse that's wasting time, instantly. But with BigQuery, you're paying for the box itself, so your strategy is to right-size. You define the exact capacity you need so you never overspend. And if you're wondering if this stuff actually matters, just listen to this. This is a real quote from someone who lived it. Just by setting one simple guardrail, a statement timeout, a runaway query that was on its way to costing $400 got stopped at $7.63. The only cost was the lesson. That's powerful.
So let's get practical. Here's your go-to toolkit for each platform. If you're on Snowflake, you need 3 things on lockdown: statement timeouts, set that auto-suspend to 60 seconds, and use resource monitors. And if you're on BigQuery, you're going to want to set a clear baseline with a max for your auto-scale, use reservations to keep workloads from stepping on each other's toes, and always cap your on-demand queries.
Look, if you walk away with just one thing today, I want it to be this. It's a simple 2-step recipe for success. First, you choose the meter that actually matches the shape of your work. Then, you protect that meter like your budget depends on it, because it does.
So I'm going to leave you with a final question to think about. Forget the brands, forget the features for just a second, and really look at your own usage. What's its shape? Is it that steady 9-to-5 hum, or is it a crazy, spiky mess? Because I promise you, once you know the answer to that, you're already halfway to making the right choice.